Girl, not to panic you, but summer is right around the corner. If you're ready to exit your hibernation era and glow the F up this summer, I got you. In this episode, I'm gonna reveal my secret 12-week summer plan and over 50 glow up tips that have actually worked for me, so you can end this summer confident AF knowing that you refuse to let this opportunity go to waste. And since we are well-rounded, versatile girlies that are capable of doing anything we put our minds to, this video is not just limited to you physically glowing up, but also your mental and emotional glow up, because emotional stability is hot AF, and your financial glow up, because we love a girl that can take care of herself with a thick wallet. Welcome back to Becoming DISScomfortable, a Gen Z podcast dedicated to preparing you to step into your light and become the best version of yourself. I'm your host Lila, and a quick disclaimer, this video is jam-packed with real tips and tricks, so I included timestamps for you in the description because your time is valuable to me and I genuinely hope that you find value in this video. Without further ado, let's get into it. Step 1, the physical glow up. Beginning with the basics, hygiene, a standard beauty routine, and the bare minimum of the bare minimum. Let's start with TikTok's favorite topic, skincare. Dear girls with acne, before you go on birth control or splurge on expensive products, please listen to this. I have completely cleared up my acne at 19 and I had been struggling with it since I was 12. Here's the thing. I tried many products before the thing that actually worked for me, and I even bought a skincare set from a very reputable, big skincare company, and it didn't do shit for me. You know what finally worked? A simple, tiny prescription from my doctor. Not even a dermatologist, a physician from my family doctor. And the prescribed medicine cost me a fraction of what I'd paid for that skincare set. Don't buy products because they are trending or because of their cute packaging. Buy them if they actually work. So what she gave me was called clindamycin benzoyl peroxide gel. Hopefully I didn't butcher that pronunciation. And I'm not saying that this will 100% work for you because everybody's skin is different. I'm just revealing what worked for me. This is sensitive to light, so every night I would put this on just before going to bed, and then I turn off the lights and go to sleep. And it took a few weeks before I got results. I wasn't even crazy consistent with it. Like, I definitely missed a few days, but it still worked for me. Go to your doctor, and if they try to put you on birth control, be adamant about it and say that you're looking for an alternative, and then they can provide you with something similar that you can test out. Besides this, skincare TikTok might have convinced you that you need like 250 products to make your skin look like theirs, but honestly, all you need is a moisturizer and a cleanser maximum. I'm still very much new to this, so instead of splurging all my money on this stuff, I'm trying a couple products, seeing what works for me, seeing what doesn't, and going from there. Next thing, my girls with dry skin or eczema, this is something I struggle with as well. Shifting to a moisturizer that is specifically designed for this or something that your doctor prescribes can make such a huge difference. So before you look to TikTok or anything else, like make sure you go to your doctor first, and if that doesn't work, then look to TikTok or solutions, or if you have extra money to splurge, then go right ahead. But like, remember that TikTok is not your doctor and that you should be going to a real doctor before you consult TikTok. And my last tip is to apply sunscreen often. And I learned this the hard way because I burned my hands last year and I regret it so much. Apparently, there are also UV rays indoors, which is crazy, and I didn't know that before. Next up, basic makeup, as in the no makeup look. So this is for when you don't want to doll up and go full glam, but you still want to look hot. I get asked about my eyelashes a lot, even though I rarely use mascara in real life, and I do not naturally have crazy long lashes. I just keep mine healthy and can put up a good illusion. Firstly, if you don't have naturally long lashes to begin with, I would highly recommend getting castor oil and putting it on your lash line regularly to help them grow. This oil is typically known to help them grow. And then the secret to super natural and effortless looking lashes is simple: curling your lashes correctly. 99% of people I have met do not curl their lashes properly, and then they complain that it doesn't work for them. If you're watching the video episode, here's a little tutorial, but basically you want to hold it in for at least, I would say, 5 to 10 seconds. Most people I know will put it on their lashes and do it like maybe once or twice, and then they'll stop. For me to get my lashes to look like this, I typically do it 4 to 5 times, and each time I put it on my lashes for 5 to 10 seconds. You also want to make sure that you get all of your lashes into the curler in order for it to actually do its thing. Bonus tip, you can heat the tip of your curler before curling your lashes, lashes with like a hairdryer or something, which will then make them last longer. Now, obviously, if you're doing things like going swimming, you will probably need waterproof mascara, but the idea is to try avoiding using mascara as often as possible so that you can preserve the health of your lashes. Like my lashes hardly fall out now, whereas every time I put on mascara, I lose my lashes. My next tip for you is finding your signature color or colors that match really well with your skin tone. Investing in a lip balm that looks natural but kind of gives your lips that bitten lip look, if you know what I mean. And then top it off with a simple coat of lip gloss. I use these lip glosses that I got from, I think, Quo Beauty, and it really is just as simple as that. As for hair care, it will look completely different depending on whether you have curly or straight or wavy hair, and also whether you've dyed your hair or not. I've never dyed my hair before. I rarely use heat, and I always let my hair naturally air dry. So for the last 6 to 9 months, I haven't really felt the need to use anything on my hair except for shampoo, and my hair has been pretty healthy. I guess I could definitely use a haircut right now. Speaking of haircuts, I don't know about you, but haircuts just like rejuvenate my soul in a way that I can't really describe. It is always so fun to get a haircut. Maybe it's because I don't get them often. So I definitely recommend getting a haircut before the summer begins, just so that like there's something about it when you get like a fresh haircut and you come out of the salon, it just, life feels so good. I don't know how to explain it. Now, if you do feel like your hair could use a little bit more shine, something I used to do when I was younger is put coconut oil in my hair. There are tons of videos of people using rose water, essential oils, a whole bunch of other stuff. I'm not the hair care expert. Search for that advice, those tips, and apply them this summer. Next up, styling. This is such a huge one for me. So for maintenance, my biggest tip for you is to invest time into finding a good parlor lady that actually understands your face, your hair, etc. For example, it took me a few months to find my lady. I actually went through a horror story before I found the lady that I currently have, but she is amazing. She literally works magic on my eyebrows every single month. And my eyebrows are now the reason that I hardly spend time doing makeup because they are the natural highlight of my face. So what I'm saying is find out what that natural highlight feature of your face is and invest in it. The last physical glow up tip is my favorite one, and it is to embrace your femininity. I'm Muslim and I usually can't get my nails done, and I also don't like getting them done. So some things I do instead are like growing my nails out and just like naturally maintaining their health. Make sure to get that calcium in. And I absolutely love painting my nails on my period. It makes me feel so feminine. All of a sudden my hand movements become so dainty. Things like getting your mehndi or henna done, even if there isn't a special occasion going on, and investing in good jewelry, artificial or real, it doesn't matter. Cute necklaces, earrings, bracelets, rings. Choose your poison because they elevate your look and turn even the most boring outfit into something stylish. One thing I like to do is build a collection of summer dresses because this is the time of the year where you can wear a dress without having to top it off with a jacket or a sweater, and it feels so nice. The second part of your physical glow up is your health, and I learned this the hard way, so listen up. When you start working out, running, exercising, whatever, your muscles start to tear. They're called micro tears, and in order to repair this consistent damage, you have to increase your protein intake. Start incorporating protein into your diet consistently to make up for the micro tears. For me, I started to eat eggs even though I don't like them, and I basically made it a habit to have eggs and toast for breakfast. This next tip I learned about in my IB biology class, and it is that if you have more melanin in your skin, so if you're like brown or black, for example, the melanin in your skin absorbs the UVR, the ultraviolet rays, that is supposed to initiate vitamin D synthesis. So basically your body gets less vitamin D when you're out in the sun compared to somebody with lighter skin. This is also for people who have immigrated from one place to another. So for example, if you came to the West from Asia like me, your body needs to adapt to this new environment. So to avoid a vitamin D deficiency, it is so important that you take extra vitamins or supplements to make up for that lack. So go to your doctor, get your tests done. That's actually how I recently found out that I was anemic, and so I recently started taking iron supplements. You won't know what your body is lacking until you do this. And the third part of your physical glow up is your fitness. I know you guys have most likely come across the wellness Pilates girlies on social media, and whether you love it or hate it, there's something enticing about taking care of yourself. Now, you don't need to take expensive Pilates classes, and you definitely don't need one of those big gigantic machines. A fitness influencer I love, who goes by Growing Ananas on social media, posted this short on YouTube where she shows you can get pretty much the same results from a towel that you would get from using a machine. If you have the extra money to splurge on a Pilates class, then go for it, but it's definitely not a necessity to maintain your fitness and your health. I personally am not a gym girly. I don't really enjoy running on a treadmill or lifting weights, but I do make myself go to the gym because it allows me to surround myself with people who are working on themselves. And I talked about the power of the energy you surround yourself with and positive peer pressure in this episode. So rather than just considering the sport or the fitness tool itself, also consider what type of people will you meet in the process of doing this. Play a sport. Like, I know people who are signed up for dance classes. I myself did basketball throughout high school, and now I just shoot around the court for fun at my local gym. And since we're talking about fitness, we also need to talk about periods, because if you start doing this stuff, and also later down the line, if you ever start consuming fitness content, self-improvement, fitness, wellness content, I want you to remember that not everything you see on the internet will apply to you. So as women, we operate on a 28-day cycle, which means we need to adjust for that cycle, okay? You will not be feeling your best every single day, and that's okay. You don't have to go to the gym every single day. You don't have to push yourself to the extent that you see other people pushing themselves on social media, especially if they are not of the same gender as you. And even within our own gender, like, there are people with different types of bodies. Maybe when you don't want to push your body too much on those days, or when you're having a bad day in general, you can just go for a walk. You don't need to dress up. You just need to go and get some sun and some fresh air for maybe 10-15 minutes. Don't let anybody tell you that walking isn't going to help you stay fit, because it most certainly will if you do it consistently. But ideally, you should also be engaging in activities that are like strength focused, because that's another thing that really benefits future you. Step 2 is your mental glow up. So this pertains to your mental acuity, intelligence, and overall life experience. So take a look at this video that I posted to the Discomfortable podcast Instagram.
There is a difference between being school smart and being life smart. This is how you become life smart, even if you haven't been on this earth very long. You need to extract knowledge from boring sources that people often forget about. You need to find ways to surround yourself with every type of age group. Children, teens, young adults, people in their 30s, middle age, and yes, boomers as well. I watch a podcast from a woman who's not in my age group, and because she has more life experience and she's very generous with her knowledge, she's literally transformed my life. Because now I'm not making the same mistakes that these older women have warned me about. I am already being protected by stuff I would have otherwise have had to figure out by screwing up my life and making horrible mistakes. Also, this allows you to talk to literally any type of person. You become more emotionally intelligent, a better communicator. Those skills will get you places in life.
By the way, I post these shorts specifically on the podcast Instagram and TikTok, and I'll also be doing a Q&A on the Instagram and sending updates for when we launch our community. So make sure to add Discomfortable on Instagram so you never miss an update. So building on this video, becoming life smart is something that you cannot solely get from school, because in school you are limited to interacting with people who are roughly the same age as you or who possess similar capabilities to you, which is not how the real world works. When I go to the gym, I see everyone from 20-year-olds to 70-year-olds, and even though these old people are not your age and you might not befriend every single old person you meet, there is still so much knowledge that you can extract from their life experiences, and those are still going to be valuable to you even today. The next thing you can do to enhance your mental acuity and basically keep your brain sharp is to expose yourself to new environments. Summer is the one chance where you have enough time on your hands to explore different areas. So consider exposing yourself to new stimuli. I explained how this impacts your brain in the Act Like the Person You Want to Become episode. We talked about this concept called neuroplasticity. And another super underrated way to increase your life experience is to travel. This doesn't have to be expensive or abroad. You can do it locally too. I am 100% sure that there are places in your town, city, wherever you live that you do not know about. I don't know if you guys have heard of that trend where you become a tourist in your own hometown. That is something you can do this summer. Now, if you have the budget and time, traveling abroad to different countries and cities is an incredible investment that you can make at any age, but especially in your 20s and late teens. And finally, it's time to try some new hobbies. If you need inspiration, I revealed the 5 types of hot hot girl hobbies that can elevate your life and help you level up. So make sure to check those out. There are so many things to explore out there, and it is so important to do things just for fun that are completely separate from work and school, to revive your soul and to give yourself a mental break from the constant work. I just went to a pier in Toronto in the GTA a couple weeks ago, and I rollerbladed there, and it was so much fun. I have inline skates, which are kind of like ice skating but on the ground, or you can also get roller skates, which I believe have 4 wheels and they're like on each side. Some people find those easier to start off with. I also used to do knitting, calligraphy, basketball of course, and a little bit of photography here and there, and that hobby eventually evolved into me getting an Instax camera, and now I made a cute little Polaroid wall, which I absolutely love, and it's just completely elevated my room. As somebody who's not very decorative, I'm not big on interior design, but like that simple little touch just made my room so much more roomy. It made it so cozy. And I also used to take secret singing lessons, but we're not gonna go into that today, okay? You can take classes on everything from candle making to macrame. But even before any of that, you have access to YouTube, to the internet, so make use of it. Step 3 is your emotional glow up. Like I said, emotional stability is hot AF and confidence is key. This is how you're gonna achieve it. In case you missed it, we talked about how to build real, everlasting confidence in a previous episode, so you can check it out after this one. The thing about confidence is that nobody knows if it's real or not. And this is why summer is such a perfect time for you to experiment with your confidence and how you showcase yourself to the world externally, because it's like a fresh start, like a clean slate. You can completely reinvent yourself, who you are and what you're known for, so make use of that. So tip 1 is to work through any existing traumas and heal your inner child, which we talked about in the How to Stop Being Insecure episode. Go to therapy if you can afford it, but you can also become your own therapist, which brings me to tip number 2, which is to create healthy outlets. These outlets will allow you to expel all the negativity, the stress, the anxiety from the day, allowing you to recharge your soul. Your outlet can be people, a certain place, a hobby, a sport, anything outside of your daily job or tasks. And while friends and spending time with loved ones is an amazing way to relieve stress, I would highly encourage you to find an outlet that is not solely dependent on other people. So my examples are hot girl walks, basketball, reading, and dancing to fun music. The basketball and dancing ones are literally cathartic for me because they allow me to expel all my negative emotions. If I'm having a bad day, I get to take all my anger out at the backboard in a productive way that doesn't harm anyone in the process. Figuring this out has completely changed my life, and this will also make you person because you will avoid perpetuating displacement. Displacement is a psychological defense mechanism in which a person redirects a negative emotion from its original source to a less threatening recipient. So basically, for a lot of people who don't practice this control over their emotions, when they cannot direct their anger towards the source, so for example, a shitty, condescending boss, as a result, when they're angry and upset, they take that anger out on the people around them, which then builds resentment with their loved ones and eventually destroys their relationships. So outlets are absolutely key to gaining better control over your emotions and learning how to process them in a healthy way. It leaves you with peace, mental clarity, and calmness. And you always want to try to make your most important decisions when your mind is calm. Also, your energy becomes so addictive because you are now living in your light. When you're at peace with yourself, you bring peace into other people's lives. And the last tip is to practice stoicism. This is something I'm trying to do in my own life. We'll see how it goes. Stoicism is basically developing self-control so that you can overcome destructive emotions. As you get older, you have to deal with people, situations that are not ideal, that you would rather not have in your life. And this is a way for you to deal with that without giving into all the negativity. There are like a million ways to practice this, but the most common ones are usually meditation, yoga, daily journaling, really emphasizing focusing on only the things that you can control at the end of the day. Step 4 is the financial glow up. First off, if you're in high school or college, I don't want to be dramatic, but these are probably the only sane years you're gonna get where you're gonna be able to drastically change the outcome of your life, where you get the chance to make your own mistakes without too much penalty, and you can also learn from the mistakes that other people have made before you. Because once you get a job, like start working full-time, a 9 to 5 or something, or even if you decide to stay at home and become like a housewife, you will have significantly less less time in your day to figure this stuff out. You will have so much less time to consume financial resources and to build up other things like side hustles or working on a business and increasing your financial literacy. If you get to a point in your life where you decide you want to do both of these things at the same time, like work and also get your side hustles or your business going, you will have to sacrifice a lot. Your social life, time with your friends and family, sometimes people's health goes down as well. So it is so important that you take advantage of the time that you have right now. And no matter what phase of your life you're in, just start now. You're not getting any younger and time is gonna pass you by anyways, so why not start today? I guess what I'm saying is try to avoid falling into the rat race or the matrix or whatever they're calling it these days, because as I've learned from older people's mistakes, once you get stuck in it, it is incredibly difficult to leave. I'm working on building a resource for the girlies that desire financial freedom outside of the traditional, conventional pathways that we've been fed all our lives. So if you want to be the first to know the details, just fill out the form called Generation Self-Employed, or GSE for short, in the description. See, the thing is, a lot of people often find themselves in a dilemma where they have passions, but those passions don't pay. And so as a result, they find themselves really struggling to choose between what they're passionate about versus what is going to bring in a consistent income for them. And that's why I keep urging you to start as early as possible, because every single thing you do for yourself right now is going to benefit future you 2 years, 5 years, 10 years from now. To summarize, some of the things that I've learned so far is to learn a high income skill. There are tons of resources available on this, videos on YouTube, so just search that up. And also try to diversify your sources of income. Whether you're working a 9 to 5 or in trades or an entrepreneur, it doesn't matter. That applies to everyone. Learn how to invest the money that you do make. That also comes with discipline. If you don't make enough to have extra money to invest, then your current goal should not be to invest, but to make more money, to increase your income, right? If you do make enough, but then it somehow ends up being gone by the end of the month, then maybe you need to be honest with yourself and track your spending habits a bit more and check in or decrease your expenses somehow. If you want to learn more about finances and in general just get better with your money, I would highly recommend watching The Financial Diet on YouTube. I've learned so much from that channel and it is so incredibly validating and healing. In the most recent video, the founder, Chelsea, I believe, she talked about how they're currently gaslighting us about the economy and about jobs being available and this and that. It is so interesting and I highly recommend that you check it out. I think that's all I have for you today. If you enjoyed this episode and found value in it, please leave a comment down below. By the way, guys, I just started a Discord community for you guys, so make sure to go and check that out in the description. Hopefully you can meet some like-minded people and make some friends. And also I want to start a book club. Some of you were asking about book talk and books in general. On my main channel, I talk a lot about books. I do book reviews like once a month. So we'll make a book club for that. So join the community and I will see you in the next episode.